We're now going to look at scaling in viewports in AutoCAD 2010. We already have our two dimensions here in the model space, and as you can see the blue symbol there is telling us that they are annotative dimensions. Now the annotation scale that we used in the previous exercise was 1:50. That is still set here at 1:50. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look now at our layout. What happens now if I need some different viewports at differing scales in the Layout tab? I click on the Layout tab here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rename my Layout tab because it could be misleading. I right click there and I rename, and what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to go to the end there and delete the 1:50 bit like so and press enter, because this is not going to be a specific 1:50 drawing anymore. Now I'm going to double click inside my viewport and activate it, and then using pan only, do not use zoom, that will change your viewport scale. So I'm going to pan, and I'm going to get most of my drawing there into the left hand side of the viewport. Now I'm going to double click outside the viewport to deactivate, and then I'm going to resize the viewport. So I click there, click on the grip, I'm going to take that to there, and then I hit escape to deselect that viewport. Now go to your viewports layer, make sure you put a new viewport on the viewports layer like so, then go to your view tab here on the ribbon, and I want a new viewport. There's the viewports panel, click on here, new, and you want a single viewport, click on OK. I'm going to use my object snaps from there down to the midpoint snap there. So there's another new viewport there. It's not going to be at 1:50. Any new viewport automatically zooms to extents. Now I don't want it to be 1:50. What I want to do there is I want to change what's in that viewport. So I'm going to double click inside the viewport. I'm going to then roll upwards on the wheel until I see what I want to see, which is the living area. I'm going to just pan and zoom until I get that living area exactly where I want it in the viewport. Something like that will be fine. Okay, let's have a look now at the scale down here on the status bar. 0.039. That's not what we want. We probably want somewhere in the region of 1:30. 1:30 is fine. I double click outside the viewport and that deactivates it. So I've got a viewport over here on the left of 1:50. I've got a viewport over here on the right of 1:30. Now I want the dimensions to display at the same size. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to just pan down a little bit, make sure your viewports aren't activated when you do that. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit there so that you can see those dimensions there, and then we're going to place some dimensions here around the living area and the kitchen area. Let's have a look at that now by going back into the Model tab. I pan upwards a little bit. There's my kitchen and living area. I'm going to place one dimension, and it's going to be the dimension here from this corner here to this corner here. Now, what I do now is I go here to the status bar, click 1:30, because I need my new annotation scale to be 1:30. I go back to my Home tab, linear dimension, change the layer first, remember? So we go up here, annotative dimensions, linear dimension there, object snap, and bring it down, like so. If I zoom out slightly now, you'll see that the text there is actually smaller than the text there. Or is it? It's not. What it's done is it's made all of those dimensions 1:30, so that when I go back to the Layout tab, they all look the same. So anything in that 1:30 viewport now will show that size, 1:30. Anything in this viewport here is 1:50. So that dimension there has an annotation scale of 1:30. These dimensions here now have an annotation scale of 1:50 and 1:30. How do we check that? We go back into the Model tab. If I now select one of these dimensions, look, can you see what happens there? I can see the 1:50 and the 1:30 because this icon down here is on. Can you see it? Display annotative objects for all scales. But if I just right click there and go to Properties, annotative scale 1:30, but if I click there, click on the button, you'll see that there are two annotation object scales there, 1:30, 1:50. That's because I've added the other scale, the 1:30 scale. So you can see that you can scale in viewports very easily with annotative scaling, and the dimensions are consistent and all look the same size.